You might have come across some types of networks in our daily life. Those include the network of roads, railway lines, canals, etc. The communication networks of telephone systems that enable us to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Then we have the network of banks and ATMs. Then we have the network of radio and television network that broadcasts programs live across the globe. We have network of malls, schools, hospitals, etc. all over the country. Now, without the networking, without phone, without the television, etc., see how it's quite unbelievable to think the life without these amenities, right? So similarly, we have our computer networks that connect millions of computers together to have also become an integral part of our life. They have extended the power of a computer beyond the expanse of a room. The internet is an outcome of cyber networking only. There are so many computers connected together. So let's understand the concepts of computer networks in detail. Basically, we have computer network and its components we have discussed today. The network can be defined as a group of computers and other peripheral devices that are linked together for the purpose of sharing data and hardware resources. For example, if you're sitting on one computer and you want to talk to other computers, send a message to other computers, or you can print some document in a network, then in order to use these or print the documents as shown here, you need to be in a network, right? Now here a computer A is sending a network signal to computer B. The computers can communicate with each other. They can send messages. Each computer in a network is called a node. Okay. Now, this computer is acting as a sender. The other nodes are acting as receivers. Now, because they need to be linked to each other using some medium, they can be using a telephone line or wires or wireless or infrared beams. So let's understand now, whatever one sender sends to the receiver is called a message. Okay, so it consists of the following parts. A message, it is the information which one computer gives to another one, right? It can contain text or pictures or audio or video, etc., whatever. Then the sender is there. The sender is the device. It could be a computer or a workstation or a mobile phone or a tablet that sends the data messages through the web browser. Then there is a receiver who receives all those things, all the messages. Now, it can also be a computer or workstation, tablet, or mobile phone. So a sender is transmitting through some transmission medium, right? Now, the transmission medium could be a twisted pair cable, a coaxial cable, a fiber optics, or radio waves. It could be anything, right? Then finally, they need a protocol. Protocol is a set of rules that govern the data communication. Now, without the protocol, a data cannot be exchanged between the two computers. Right. So, what are the advantages of networking now? Advantages of networking include the efficient use of storage media. It simply means that using this, you can reduce the cost. There could be one hard disk, it can be shared across the devices. There could be one printer which can be shared across other devices, right? Similarly, preserving information. Whatever information you have, it goes as a backup to a number of standalone computers. When you keep backups on central location, you have one place to look for the lost information. You won't be looking in all the different computers. Then reduction in the hardware cost. Imagine you have a printer you want to print on, or you need a modem or a printer or a scanner or a CD writer. You don't need to get 100 of these, right? Just get one and put it in a network, right? So you can access them from any one of the computers, from any one of the network computers. So see how much efficiency you'll be getting. So deletion, modification, upgradation can be done at one place, right? So this brings more efficiency and effectiveness to your system, right? Redundancy means the repetitiveness, right? So you don't need to get hundreds of copies of documents, okay? Similarly, sharing the soft copy of a file, you can share the files across different devices. So this greatly reduces the need for extra devices. You can just have one and share it across different devices. Then quickest document delivery, you can deliver the soft copies very quickly. Then think about the networking media. The data can be transmitted from one location to another by using wires, or wirelessly it can be done, right, through waves. Now, in wired networking, you have Ethernet cables. You might have seen a wire like this as shown on the screen. The Ethernet cable is one of the most popular form of networking cables. Similarly, you might have seen this one. This is a telephone cable, right? Then Ethernet cables connect various devices such as PCs or routers or switches. You might have seen this kind of a modem, right? The advantage of these cables is that they have less power consumption, but the drawback is that the computers require an Ethernet adapter in them, and then an adapter card or motherboard connected to the Ethernet. These cables also have the limitations both in the distance that they can stretch without losing signal quality and the durability. So you cannot put the wires everywhere, right? So there are mainly two types. First of all, we have a crossover, and this is without a hub or a switch. If you want, then you need that. Now the other one is the straight through cable. This is that they are identical to each other. So wherever you use them, you can put them on a network. So one is the coaxial cable. This is the same kind of a cable which you use in your cable TV. See, the cable television, it uses this coaxial cables. But this cable can also be used in networks that has high bandwidth and greater transmission capacity. Right. A coaxial cable consists of a central copper wire, you can see it over here, and surrounded by an insulation. This is the insulation. It is relatively inexpensive and can transmit data at higher rates. It's quite fast. Right. It also provides better protection against electromagnetic disturbances. But the only disadvantage with this is that that's high installation maintenance costs. It's expensive, okay? So two main types of coaxial cables are, one is a baseband coaxial cable. It supports quick transmission of a single signal at a time. Other one, it's mainly used for LANs, okay? Other one is a broadband coaxial cable. It transmits multiple signals at the same time and is used for longer distances. So wherever the distance is longer, then you need to use this broadband. Another one is optical fiber cable. Fiber optics is a popular technology and has a larger capacity. Wherever you need speed, high speed, you need to use fiber optic cable, okay? A fiber optic cable consists of a central glass core containing a bundle of glass threads surrounded by several layers of protective covering. When these glass threads are capable of transmitting data converted into light signals, the fiber optic cable is highly resistant to signal interference. So that means there is less of the signal disturbance in this. Then fiber optic cable is a popular technology for local area networks, but in future, almost all communications will be employing fiber optics. This is quite expensive right now. It is fragile and maintenance cost is high. Then we have the wireless. In wireless, we'll be covering Bluetooth. This you might have seen in your mobile phones. It allows users to talk and share information like voice, music, videos, whatsoever. It establishes a short-range communication between phones, computers, and other network devices. And it's mainly used for personal area networks with a maximum transmission range of up to 240 meters. That depends on the Bluetooth version in the use. Okay. Now, this technology eliminates the use of cables and adapters. The presence of Bluetooth icon, you might have seen this kind of an icon in your phone, right? Then we have infrared technology. In infrared, this is the short-range communication technology that covers approximately 5 meters. It is used to exchange information between computers or maybe cellular telephones and faxes by emitting infrared waves through infrared LEDs. Infrared communication takes place between two devices at a time. Infrared network signals cannot penetrate walls or other obstructions and work only in a direct line of sight. These waves or signals are focused into a narrow beam through a plastic lens, which is further converted into electronic signals by the receiver. Your remote control is the most common example of infrared communication. Right. Next, we come to Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. It creates a wireless local area network. You might be using it at your homes right now. It's a secure and reliable fast wireless connection, and it's established between the electronic devices and the internet by using this technology. The devices require a wireless adapter connected to them to capture the Wi-Fi signals. Now, Wi-Fi offers the following advantages. Let's see them. Now, Wi-Fi has replaced the wired medium completely and can be used to connect to the internet anywhere and at any time. It's relatively inexpensive and can also be accessed at places where cables cannot be installed. One can connect multiple devices through Wi-Fi. That's the most basic advantage of that. Now, there are some limitations also. Let's discuss them one by one. It has high power consumption. It's slower than the wired medium, right? Then the transmission breaks or slows down when there is noise interference. Fine. Next, we come to types of networks. Now, depending on the geographical area covered by the network, these are the various types of computer networks available worldwide. Now, these are the personal area network. Personal area networks are quite short range. So, PAN is a computer network that covers a small area of about 10 meters to about 30 feet. It is used for communication among devices such as laptops, mobile phones, PDAs, or smartphones. Now, personal area networks can either be wired or wireless. You can use these networks to transfer files, including emails, calendar appointments, digital photos, and music. Then we come to a little bit bigger one, local area network. Now, in a LAN, two or more computers and peripheral devices can be connected within a small area as a room, an office building. It could be your lab also. In local area network, computer terminals are physically connected through wires. The data transmission speed is slow. Since LAN is operated in a small area, it can be controlled and administered by a single person or an organization. It's quite easy to administer. Then the next one is cluster area network. Now, it could be called as a campus area network, right? It's a network comprising a series of small LANs over a geographical area, such as a college campus or a building, right, as a whole. It covers an area similar to LAN. Then we have the MAN, that's the Metropolitan Area Network. It's a larger network. It's spread across the city, right? It covers areas a few hundred kilometers in a city called as a metropolitan. The most common example of MAN is your cable television network, okay? Then we come to wide area network. Wide area network means the kind of network connects two or more computers located at distant places. Could be across multiple cities, right? They are linked by communication facilities like telecommunications or satellites even. The most common example of WAN, okay, the use of WAN is limited to very large organizations and government organizations. The main characteristic of WAN is that it requires a public telecommunication media to transfer data. The best example of WAN, what do you guess? Yeah, internet and intranet is a large multinational company. Then you have ATM facilities, national and multinational bank customer services. Then we have networking devices. Now, what are the devices which you use? You might have seen many of them, right? Wireless routers, switch, server, laptop. Yeah. How do you connect all of them? Similarly, if you want to connect your printers, so these devices work at different segments of a computer network, performing different tasks. Let's pick up the first one, the modem. The modem stands for modulation demodulation. Okay. And why it is used? It converts the digital signals of a computer into analog signals to enable the transmission via phone lines. And at the destination, the receiving modem further converts the analog to digital. That means it demodulates the signal so that the data can be understood at the receiving end. Now, modems are available in two categories. They are internal modems and external modems. Internal modems are fixed in your CPU, right? Inside your PC, they are. These slots are known as PCI slots. They are white in color as shown on your computer screen. Then we come to the hub. You might have seen one of these, right? A hub is a networking device that is used to connect multiple computers and computing devices directly to the network using cables. Now, each connection is established using a fiber optic cable. It can be done anyway. When the hub receives the data at one of its ports, it distributes the data to the other ports in the network, right? Typically, a hub sends all the data it receives to all the connected ports. Okay, you can see 4 computers in the screen. Then we have a switch. A switch is quite similar to a hub, but it is intelligent. They are similar to hubs but offer greater performance. When a network contains a large number of devices, switches are needed instead of hubs.